Hello, everyone. This is Angela here, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the narcissistic personality disorder. I just did a video, and I figured why not make it two for one since I have not been doing videos for the past month or so. And so tonight's topic is going to be the New Year's Eve party from hell. Narc mother ruins New Year's Eve. And this story goes back to my childhood, and you look back on these stories, okay, and you kind of laugh, at this nostalgia because it's just so ridiculous. But here's the story. Um, if anybody saw my video series Reunion with Narcissistic Mother, you'll see, I think, in either part 2 or part 3 of that series, my mom talks about her friend Ruth. And this woman lived in Englishtown, New Jersey before she retired and went into a retirement community. And my mom was bragging about what a great friend she is because she sent her this lovely card and made it look like they were best friends. So tonight I'm here to tell the real story about my mom's friendship with her friend Ruthie, and how Ruthie had the New Year's Eve from hell, inviting my narc mother over to her house to spend New Year's Eve. Um, well, she invited all of us, okay? So my parents get invited over to Ruthie's house. Ruthie and Denny, they were very nice people, okay? To this day, they're very nice people. I really don't think that I don't know how they could be so oblivious to my mother's mental illness because she's nuts. But I noticed that these people kept their distance towards my mom. I think my whole life, these people only visited my mom about once. They came to our house, and then they saw that my mom was a hoarder. They were nice and everything, but gotta go. So back to the New Year's Eve party, and this was in the 1970s, just kind of revealing my age here. But this was in the 1970s. I think it was like 78, somewhere around there. I couldn't have been no more than 11, 12 years old, maybe even younger. It was so long ago. Um, so they had this big Christmas New Year's Eve party, big shindig, and they had this really nice house. It was a split level. They had a pool with a sliding board and everything, and we visited their house like one other time in the summer, and I just thought it was great because it was just like it was like the Brady Bunch house, except it had the pool in the backyard. It was just like a really fun place for a kid to be. I like so envied those kids, her children. Not really envied, but kind of wish that we had the things that they had. So anyway, my parents go down there, and it was so long ago, I don't even remember how many other couples were there, but they were all people from my mom's grade school. And so it was like a reunion because that's how my mom knew this woman, from grade school. And so my parents go over, and my dad, you know, um, I don't know how my dad felt about going to their house at that time, but my dad did accompany her, and they had a lot of alcohol there. And my narc mom always has to be the star of the show. Always has to ruin some occasion, okay? She ruined my brother's wedding. She ruined Easter Sunday, 1995. And now she ruined the New Year's. It's like a blast from the past, the New Year's of the 1970s. So, these people like really hosted a big shindig at their house. Well, unfortunately, my narc mother couldn't control her liquor. Okay, didn't know how, didn't realize that drinking multitudes of liquor will get you sick. And so she's up there and she's drinking, making a total fool out of herself. She got totally smashed. And not only did she get totally smashed, she threw up all over this person's house. I mean, threw up everywhere. My dad was so embarrassed. It was like, it was awful. Absolutely awful. And, my dad was the enabling father. And my dad, I mean, he did blame some of it on her because she made an ass out of herself. But she blamed it on him, the host of the party, because my dad felt that he was pushing drinks. And it's like, if somebody's offering you a drink, you have to be smart enough to know your limit, okay? You don't go around mixing drinks. And he's not paying attention to what she's drinking and what 50 other people are drinking there. He's just trying to be a host. At least that's how I remember it, okay? I know my dad was like extremely pissed off after all that. So we couldn't go home that night because we lived in Philadelphia and they lived in Englishtown. And we didn't have a car, so we traveled by bus at that time. So we got stuck staying the night there, which wasn't planned, and these people were not happy. And, I remember, what I do remember about that was how, even though I was a little kid, I knew that there was a problem, and I knew that people were not happy, okay? Like, I sensed that. And, it was very, very embarrassing for my dad. But this is what narcissists do. It's like they always got to be the center of attention. They always have to ruin every occasion. Um, you know, and after that day, we never got invited over their house again. And I never even saw those people again until like years later. I'm talking 25 years later. My mom didn't see these people either. She always used to talk on the telephone to her friend. She called her Bootsy. Her name was Ruth, but she called her Bootsy. And let me tell you something about Bootsy. Um, Bootsy never visited Joanne because Joanne was a freaking hoarder. And Joanne, they had to know that something was not right with this woman. Because I'm telling you, when my mom talked to this woman, okay, it's as if the years from 1963 from the years 1961 up into the future do not exist. All she ever talked about with this woman, Bootsy, was nostalgia. Okay? It's like an episode of Groundhog Day. The same things over and over and over again. I mean, the woman didn't talk to her on a regular basis, so that's probably why she didn't catch on that there's something not right. But it all falls into that spectrum of delusions of grandeur and just not being with reality. They just are not in reality. It was all this there's just absolutely no interest in, her kids, her marriage, her occupation, the future. No, it was all about, her childhood boyfriends and how wonderful those things were and how wonderful those days were and how, cute she looked and it's nauseating to listen to these people talk. They talk out of their ass. I can, and I have seen, I'm not kidding, I have seen professionals, I'm talking highly educated people, talk like, that there's something wrong with them. That the things that they're saying, you just stand there and you roll their eyes. And you're like, how can this be true? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And to tell you what, it's just one more chapter of my life, of my past that gets triggered around the holidays, okay? That was really a holiday from hell. that New Year's Eve. I'll never forget. She threw up all over herself. I mean, I could never even face, like, if I had done something like that over my friend's house, I would be so apologetic. You know what I'm saying? I would send them a big gift basket or take them out to dinner or do something. No. Oh, oh well. Move on to the next day. And that's basically the reality of what you're dealing with a narcissist. It's just absolutely unbelievable. So that's all for this episode. Take care.